Hello, everyone. I am Mr. Gabe Guy Color, along with my fabulous co-host.
Mysterious Pinoza X.
And as of now, it is currently the middle of December 2019. Another year has gone by. We're almost reaching the 2020s.
And not only that, the end of a decade.
It's kind of scary when you think about it.
It kind of is.
hmm But I will say one thing that I'm I am sadly ashamed to admit, though, is that a lot of my time during that has been playing a certain quote unquote fighting party game, and that has been Smash Ultimate. It's currently been a year since that game's released. It has generated a ton of hype, and for the love of God, some of us just can't put it down.
Yeah. I honestly thought that Smash 4 was the last Smash Brothers. Of course, when it was announced that Nintendo was going to make another system, which is the Nintendo Switch and everything, I thought, to myself, I'm like, okay, that's just, something. I guess, they're moving on to the new generation and stuff. But I didn't really think that they were going to have another Smash Brothers game and everything. Even in their presentation, a lot of like people, oh, Smash for Switch is going to be announced. Smash for Switch is going to be announced. I'm like, it's not. Like, guys, Smash 4 is going to be the last one. And that wasn't revealed. We just got, the release dates for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And then a few months later, that's when I forgot what year of that E3 was. I think it was 2017, I believe, or 2016
Um,
E3.
I think it was 2018 where they did confirm that they were making a new game.
Really? And that was okay. And then when that trailer dropped, I'm just like, whoa, whoa. I after that I just shut my mouth.
Are you talking about the Flaming Smash Ball one with the Inkling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that was March of this year. Well, not this year, last year.
Oh, okay, okay.
It does feel like a long time, I will say.
So like that after that I'm just like, okay, the new Smash Bros. Game is coming. I'm actually pretty excited about it. And that's probably one of the reasons why I got the Switch, pretty much. So I like honestly after when that was announced, it took me a while to get a Switch. I think it was like probably like December 3rd, 2018 is when I got my Switch, and then like I just kind of played the waiting game until Smash that came out and stuff. Until then, I was pretty much enjoying other games on the Switch and everything. So yeah, so that changed my whole perspective.
Um, in terms of like waiting before we had any confirmation, I definitely had a really good feeling that they were going to continue the series at the time because I just thought to myself, okay, whether or not Sakurai is on board or not, the series generates a ton of money and hype. I can totally see them doing another game. But I was on the group of that thought that it was just going to be a port of the Wii U game.
That's what I thought too. Like they were gonna, like there was also rumors going around that they were gonna have an HD release of Melee and everything. So I thought like, okay, maybe I guess Sakurai is not gonna be into it. Like it's gonna be on board with it or something. So they'll have somebody else, pretty much going stepping up into just pretty much being the director of the whole Smash Brothers series and stuff, and maybe continue it without him, or they're just they decide, what, we can't do without Sakurai, so we're going to end the series in part 4 and everything. So yeah, and they just decided, let's just port the Wii U version to Switch like many other games before the Switch release. Pretty much like Super Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 2 Splatoon never came out for the Wii U, huh?
Oh, Splatoon did come out for the Wii U. They just made a direct sequel rather than porting it over. But I know what you're
Oh,
thinking.
okay.
They ported over a
Oh,
lot of games from the Wii U, like Tropical Freeze and New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. So, like, I thought that was gonna happen, but after that, I'm like, oh, new Smash Brothers game.
Yeah.
I'll shut up now.
No, I get what you mean. You have a lot to say. Personally, like on the note though, is that like many people, I was very surprised to hear that when they were making this new Smash game, it was a full-on confirmation that it was going to be a new game, and I think a lot of people had they got goosebumps when they first saw that Inkling reveal. I mean, not only did a lot of people predict that if they were going to make a new Smash game, Inkling was going to be in, but just the way they shot it though, with just the close-up of Inkling along with the Smash Ball, like the giant flaming Smash Ball reflecting in her eye with the large wide-angle view though, and the foreboding music of all the characters in a silhouette. I'm just thinking, oh my god, they really like this is one hell of a hyperbole, you have to say.
Yeah, like I literally thought, like, because I think at the time they were still, like, announcing Splatoon 2, and they were showing off the trailer, and after that, like, I thought they were gonna like reveal some type of like a special guest character for Splatoon 2, but when like I saw her, like, literally that split from her from the Ickling's pupil, I was like, oh no, and then that boom, like the silhouette of all the characters, I'm just like, ah.
It was incredibly foreboding. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, literally was. I was speechless. Honestly, I was freaking speechless, dude. I was like, I did not know what to say after that. I'm just like, holy shit, we're getting a new Smash Brothers game.
Indefinitely. And thus, from that point onwards, between March to E3, everyone was just speculating, okay, like, who are they going to add? Who are they going to add? Who are they going to consider? But a lot of people's mind was also, who's going to get cut? Who's not returning in this next game? And just for clarity, I've been a long time Dr. Mario main, and I was kind of on the ropes of this one. Part of me thought he was going to get cut since he doesn't seem like he had the best player base, but at the same time, he was an easy clone, so I was kind of 50-50 whether or not he was going to make it back. But
Yeah.
but turns out we didn't have to worry about that at all coming E3. Do you want to give the honors of explaining that?
Well, as a person that's have been a Ryu main since I first started playing Street Fighter, like I was when Ryu was announced for Smash 4, like I was like, oh man, thank you, Sakurai. Because I was like, thank you so much. And then, like, as soon as they announced this, I'm like, they're probably not going to add him at all. Like, they're going to cut him and stuff. But, man, what they announced was remarkable. And it's also literally a thank you for great support. And they just said, everyone is in.
Yep, in my opinion, just for anybody who was worried about their favorite character not being in there, that was the best thing that could have possibly happened. And it's not very often when you get to see in a fighting game where they take all of the previous fighters from the previous entries, like in a long-time fighting game series, it's not common you get to see all characters in the same game, as in
Like,
playable.
like that one part when Solid Snake came out, freaking, and then they said, everybody is in. I'm just like, oh, like
Yep.
they did not cut one single character. Everybody's in this thing.
Yep, it was at that point where they, like, as soon as like Snake appeared in, it was at that point when they threw on the text that everyone was thinking, everybody is here.
Yeah, that was the tagline right there. I was trying to remember. It's been a while.
It's fine. But it was at that point where they just do a whole-on just showcase of everyone, all of their in-game models, all of their in-game animations, and I just gotta say, yep, that's it. From that point onwards, no one had to worry. You were you were a main of any of these previous characters. It was great. I didn't have to worry about anyone from Smash 4 getting cut, and it was also just great to see the previous characters who weren't in that game upgrade with their HD models and their full-on revamped movesets. So from that point onwards, it was a win-win for all groups. If you main anybody that was in Smash 4, you were covered. If you main anybody who was cut from the previous games, you were covered. And you were just hoping for new blood, you were covered. Because from that point onwards, it was just new characters.
Yeah, like literally, like I thought, like, when they announced that everybody was here, I thought, like, to myself, so they're not going to add new characters, so just that's pretty much it. Eventually they'll add DLC characters, but I thought to myself, like, okay, maybe like everybody's in, so that's pretty much it. Like, well, that's all the characters we have.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, though, they as soon as that trailer dropped, they announced a new character, and it's probably a character that everybody wanted to be in Smash, and just didn't really think that they would add this particular character because he was a boss in the Subspace Emissary. I'm of course talking about Ridley from the Metroid series, the one of I don't know. I hardly ever played Metroid. I want to say one of the main antagonists, probably. Um, one of the enemies, the villains from the Metroid series and stuff. And the thing is, Ridley is freaking huge. He's huge. Like you see him in, like, if you played the other Metroid games and seen his boss battle in the Subspace Emissary, but no, they actually shortened him to fit with the other characters, and I thought it was not possible, but it was freaking possible. So Ridley was in, and the trailer was freaking dark.
That's one of the most. That was definitely one of the biggest selling points. If everyone was here wasn't enough kicker for you, it was definitely the Ridley trailer. Because for anyone who doesn't know, Ridley has been a before this announcement, he was a huge controversy between it because there was a ton of people who wanted him to be playable, but there was also a huge side of other people that were saying, well, for the lack of subtlety, he was too large to be playable, and he already had roles as boss characters in Brawl and Smash 4. Not to mention is that Sakurai himself even said that he would be too large to be a playable character, and if he were to shrink him down, it wouldn't work. Not the case for Ultimate.
Not the case.
If there's one thing I've definitely learned about that is that beforehand, whenever Sakurai talks about a character and saying that they wouldn't work as a Smash character, he usually ends up going back on his word and ends up putting them in anyway. He said that
Yeah.
Pac-Man wouldn't work since he would just be a circle walking around eating people. Puts Pac-Man in Smash 4. He can't put any Animal Crossing characters because Animal Crossing is too peaceful. Puts Villager in. Wouldn't do the Mii characters. Puts the Mii characters in. Won't do Ridley because he's too big. Shrunk him down, used the original NES game as an excuse, and put him in simply because a lot of people wanted it to happen.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that trailer. It was freaking dark, dude. Like, literally, Ridley killed off Mario and Mega Man.
Yeah, can it just. I think that whole trailer was supposed to emulate the darker tone and the less settling part of the Metroid series, and to kind of show why lighter more cartoonish characters like Mario and Mega Man probably wouldn't last too long in that universe.
Yeah.
So I think it was definitely it was definitely a nice showcasing towards our, let's just say, Sizely Space Dragon for this game.
Yeah. It was just crazy, dude. I remembered, oh, I think we'll get to that pretty much, because I forgot we still have to talk about characters we have fun with, but I'll save that I'll talk about more about Ridley when we reach to that topic and stuff.
Yep. From this point onwards, though, we'll just go on and just focus on the rest of the character reveals up until the game's release. You got it?
Got it.
All right. So from that point onwards, though, we definitely were hitting a bit more of a dry snag. Like, we were hearing little spits, like specks and spiffs of information every once in a while, but nothing huge. But that all changed on August. Do you want to do the honors of presenting this one?
Man. Everyone who knows me personally knows that I'm a big fan of this series. I grew up with the series back in the Super Nintendo days with its fourth sequel. Oh my god. So Konami is responsible for this series, but Konami really hasn't had a great rep for pretty much letting go of Kojima and pretty much botching the whole Metal Gear Solid series with Metal Gear Solid Survive. Boy, that game sucked.
We don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it. We never mention it. Never existed for us. Put on those sunglasses. Pew! But of course, even before then, when Smash 4 was announced, um, even before Mega Man had pretty much the same treatment with Capcom. Capcom pretty much was more focusing on their fighting games rather than their franchise-made games like Mega Man. They canceled 2 Mega Man games, and pretty much everyone thought that was it for Mega Man. Mega Man's going to be no more. And then Smash 4 announced that Mega Man was going to be a new playable character. And many people thought like, oh yeah, this is a resurrection of Mega Man and everything. And it was, because after that, Mega Man had 2 Legacy collections, another one coming up, Mega Man 11, and, Mega Man was back. So, going all the way back to August, there was a trailer that dropped for a new character, I believe in its Switch Direct,
Hmm.
of that day. And it just showed some guy in in a robe and a hoodie just walking into a castle. And I'm like, Plo, please, don't tell me. Don't tease me like this. Don't tease me like this. So literally we see Luigi in his I don't know. What was that vacuum called he uses in Luigi's Mansion?
Oh, the Poltergust G00, but you could just say Luigi's Mansion get up.
Yeah, so his old Luigi's Mansion get up, fighting, sucking in monsters and everything like that. He was fighting off some familiar monsters, though. First off, he was running away from mummies. And I'm like, no, don't tease me like this. Don't tease me like this. And then he backs up a little, and then he finds just a Medusa statue. I'm like, no, don't tease me like this. Come on. Don't tease me like this. And then when he shines his light up, there was the Grim Reaper himself, Death. But he's in a familiar getup, and it's the same getup he wears in a video game. I'll just mention it, Castlevania. Just like, no way, no way. And then Death literally steals Luigi's soul. But there was a Morning Star whip that attacked Death, and this person wielding that whip, I was just like in so much excitement. It was real that Simon Belmont from the Castlevania series was going to be in Smash, and I'm just like, Sakurai. Simon Belmont was one of the characters I've wanted since Smash 4. I've always wanted Simon Belmont to be in a Smash game. And I'm just like, I was just so happy, that finally we get freaking Castlevania recognized in Smash Brothers. I could literally hear all these remixes of these, just, in my opinion, probably one of the best gaming soundtracks of all time, with such freaking amazing music. And like, not only that, like, freaking Simon Belmont gets an Echo Fighter. I'm over here thinking maybe Trevor Belmont, but no, it's actually Richter Belmont. I could understand why, because Sakurai confirmed that his favorite is Rondo of Blood, so I could understand why he was Simon's Echo Fighter and everything. And man, just, I can honestly say they put more love with Castlevania than any of the game characters that are on here.
I would very, very, very much agree. Oh, we got an update from Ghostman.
An hour, wow.
Hey, we might be talking for that long, so give or take when he comes in. But anyway, case in point, honestly, like the first time I saw that trailer, the first thing that immediately came to mind was Dark Souls. But as soon as like I saw the Medusa heads and just the design of Death, I immediately thought, oh, yep, the leak was real. Castlevania is coming to Smash.
Yes. I was just very happy because honestly, we haven't heard from Castlevania since the Lord of Shadow days. Um, and many thought after that was it. That was it for pretty much Castlevania. And when Simon Belmont was announced for Smash, just everything seems good, like for Castlevania so far. Konami decided, you know what, let's release, this collection for these two Castlevania games, which is Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night. But later we found out that it was just ports from the PSP version. But eventually we did get a Castlevania collection plus a mobile game, but still hasn't been released in the United States, which I'm hoping it does eventually. But now we're thinking maybe eventually we will get a new Castlevania game. I'm really excited, but overall, man, I was just very happy that day that finally Simon and Richter Belmont are in Smash Brothers, and just we get this stage, to pay homage to the history of Castlevania along with its music and everything. And
Yep.
that was one thing I was afraid, like, what if Konami doesn't let them, just like with the Final Fantasy treatment, Square Enix only gives them two songs from Final Fantasy VII, but no, they confirmed that Konami was going to give them 34 songs.
All th- I
34 songs.
I still can't believe that 34 songs. Apparently, the reason why they did that was, and this is a quote from Sakurai. He said that a lot of the composers were big fans of Castlevania, and he wanted to give them free range for whatever songs they wanted to do.
Yeah, I remember hearing that too. I'm just like, and they honestly made some of the most beautiful remixes of these classic songs and everything. It was just freaking amazing. And who would have known Monster Ball would overshadow Bloody Tears?
I was waiting for that.
Like honestly, I thought Bloody Tears was gonna get the more treatment, but Monster Ball, like a very less well-known Castlevania song, gets the love.
Oh God, brings back those AVGN memories and the oh God, what the hell was that fanfiction called? My Immortal brings back memories of that.
Yeah. Oh man, but honestly, I was very happy with it. Yeah, and I thought to myself after that, oh yeah, this is gonna be a great Smash Brothers. Literally, I thought after that anybody could join, like anybody could join.
There's no limitation indeed. At that point, I definitely agreed. Um, so are you about done here? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so I didn't mean to take the take the fun away
No,
from
no,
what you were saying.
no, you're good. You're good.
All right, gotcha. So from that point onwards, it was just a complete surprise to see just two Belmonts in this game. Which, oh, by the way, fun fact: Sakurai said he did consider adding Alucard in, but he put the Belmonts in since he thought they would be more recognizable.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
Alucard is added as a trophy character, so I thought that was perfect right there.
yeah, it was a good fit. And hey, he did get a small role in the Palutena Guidance if you do it on Richter, so that's a plus.
Yeah, that is.
But anyway, moving from that point onwards, it was from that direct where they were giving out more information. From that point onwards, though, it seems like the entire game was going to be a hybrid between Melee's fast-paced gaming and Smash 4's more slow-paced game, combine it together to ease both camps of people who want a super fast and hardcore, fighting fast-paced battles, compared to people who like the slower pace, though, that just want that functions better as a casual party game. The overall system seemed to combine to make a kind of strange but very satisfying equal, and I think they were doing a good job at it. But from that point
Yeah.
onwards, they also gave out two more character reveals. Those ones were more Echo Fighters. The first one was Crom, a Echo Fighter of Roy, which I will say it right now, the only reason why that character got in was because of his line in Lucina's reveal trailer. I suppose I'll get my chance another day.
I remember that trailer. I'm like, oh, poor Crom. But eventually, when they added him as an Echo Fighter for Roy, I'm like, okay, that's reasonable.
Hmm. And it seemed like he was like the only Fire Emblem character that people were okay with being in the game.
Yeah.
We'll get to Fire Emblem later on though, but anyway, it was really good to see Crom. It was really nice to see that he had a differentiating moveset. The same, unfortunately, cannot be said for Dark Samus, which I will say it right now, I was really hyped to see Dark Samus come in as an echo for regular Samus. I've heard a lot of people request her as sort of a substitute for Ridley, assuming Ridley wasn't going to be playable. But hey, we got the best of both worlds. We got Dark Samus and Ridley in the same game. What could go wrong? And well,
Hmm.
I'll just save my thoughts for here. As cool as Dark Samus looks and portrays aesthetically, she plays exactly the same as Samus. She has, aside from like minor hitbox or hurtbox shifting, she is an exact clone from Samus, and yeah, that definitely took away a little sting from there. But you know what? Regardless, it's still cool she's in the game.
Yeah, she honestly I didn't I thought to myself like, oh, they'll eventually like this whole Echo Fighter thing that they announced. Like I thought eventually they are gonna add a Dark Samus, and they did. That was a really surprise for me and everything. But of course, I thought to myself like she's gonna besides the way she stands, animation, the way Dark Samus stands, the animation and all that stuff, it was gonna be different. But I thought to myself, she's gonna play out the same way as regular Samus and stuff, and when I played Dark Samus and everything, I could kind of see that, yeah, it was pretty much the same thing as playing as regular Samus.
And that does kind of bring up a small complaint I did have because while a good portion of the Echo fighters did have their differences, a few of them, those being Dark Samus, Richter, and Daisy, they're all essentially exact clones of their original ones. They're not like Dr. Mario or Lucina, where they do have a few gameplay differences to where you can kind of write them off as a different experience. Not the case with those three, though. They play exactly the same. Heck, even Daisy, who, by the way, we forgot to mention in the E3 reveal, Daisy, like, even had a small difference with her turnips, where they would send into slightly different, they had different knockback values, and that would create some slightly different situations. They patched that out, so Peach and Daisy play exactly the same. They patched out their only difference.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so, kind of a bummer, but oh well. It's still nice to have the characters in some playable form. I guess it's better than just being a glorified costume, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, moving from that point onwards, though, everyone just thought that it was going to be the end at that point of that August Direct, which, by the way, as you could tell, August Direct was pretty good. But
Yeah, it was really good.
But of course, Sakurai had to end it off with one special reveal, and this was the one that definitely satisfied a lot of people. I will say I definitely love how this one started off. It was a nice little sideshow with various artwork, showing off heroes fighting against villains. And as soon as that came up, I immediately thought, oh, they're going with it. They're going to go through with it. They, and as soon as it ended, you get a close up of DK yawning. You have DK and Diddy sitting in the treehouse, and I'm just thinking, yep, they're doing it. They were doing it.
Oh man.
You,
Um.
you hear a loud stomp outside. The Kongs go out to the window. Sorry to interrupt you.
If I could, no, go ahead. You're doing a great job right now.
They take a glance. They see a shadowy figure of a past adversary. He gets ready to reveal himself, and it was DDD trolling us. Mother Pfeiffer. Mother Pfeiffer.
They played us.
They played us like a damn fiddle. But thankfully that didn't last long though, because the real adversary, the Croc King himself, King K. Rool, has come aboard.
Oh my god, that. And then freaking Gangplank Galleon, sorry, it's a tongue twister, played. I'm just like, oh my god. Like, I've always wanted King K. Rool to be in Smash. They eventually added him, and I was so happy. Like, honestly, I was very, very happy. And then, oh my gosh, dude. It was freaking amazing. It honestly was. They pretty much borrowed a lot of like his movesets from previous Donkey Kong Country games. I believe his his recovery move is pretty much that helicopter from, was it Donkey Kong Country 2 or 3?
3.
Yeah, it was 3 and everything. And then the uh, the the musket was from Country 1, right? No.
2.
Yeah, it was 2. So, yeah, sorry. And then, of course, him throwing the crown was from Donkey Kong Country 1. And man, I was like, honestly, like it just like all after seeing all of that, like it literally brought like a lot of nostalgia, just seeing that and everything. And then of course they reveal his counter move, which eventually goes down to be one of the most overpowered things in Smash Brothers history, which is his using his belly.
Yep, we can definitely get behind that. I will definitely say this though, King K. Rool's trailer was very hyped for a lot of fans. So much so that after he was initially revealed, a bunch of fans got together and signed a thank you letter to Sakurai. In fact, if I could find an image of it, I even managed to get my name in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on Smashboards they got together and asked for signatures to sign a thank you letter for adding King K. Rool to Smash on Smashboards, and I managed to get my name in there. So suffice to say, a lot of people were super grateful. King K. Rool for a long time was a highly requested character, but a lot of people were kind of worried he wasn't going to be included in since at the time before his release, the last game he was in Mario Sluggers on the Wii, and that was 10 years ago. A lot of people felt he was just too irrelevant to be considered as a playable character. Turns out that wasn't the case.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people thought that, King K. Rool was the property of Rare, and, Rare was, we were going to get him because of that and stuff. But, hey, we were wrong for that as well.
Yeah, that was a common misconception. A lot of people, while speculating for King K. Rool, a lot of people still thought he was owned by Rareware. But here's a question that I can definitely... But this was the trick question. Well, if he's owned by Rareware because Rareware created him, wouldn't that technically mean that Diddy is owned by Rare?
Oh.
Nope, not at all.
Nope. Yeah, Didi is in Smash since in Brawl. Yeah.
Yep, that was definitely a long old one that a lot of people would ask the question, but nope. Turns out that whole thing didn't own any water. Owning water. It didn't hold any weight. That's what I'm trying to say. Case in point, anything in the DK universe is owned by Nintendo, even if Rareware made the characters.
Mm-hmm.
So from that point onwards, though, it just kind of showed that no matter how big of a character or how irrelevant you were capable of being a fighter in Smash Brothers. And I think it was at that point onwards where it shows that, yep, they managed to get Castlevania from Konami. They managed to get King K. Rool, though, a character who hasn't been seen so far. The sky was the limit from that point.
Mm-hmm. Like, we literally thought after that, just anybody could join Smash. Even ones that were just really irrelevant for so many years.
Mm-hmm. So from that point onwards, I'm going to try to speed this up a little since we've been going on for a bit. But at this point onwards, we've been getting smaller reveals. In September, from a direct that was delayed though due to a earthquake in Japan. I'm hoping the people from that earthquake though have it has been a year since then, but I hope they're doing okay now.
Same here.
From a delayed direct, we got a nice little tidbit of Isabelle from Animal Crossing, and hey, she was nice. She wasn't the biggest, newsbreaker or anything like that, but she was nice to have. And then comes the November direct, and a lot went on during that one. They first opened up with a trailer, and we get to see a nice little reveal of Ken Masters from Street Fighter as Ryu's Echo.
I knew eventually that, if they were going to add Echo Fighters to this game, I knew that they were going to add Ken as an Echo Fighter to Ryu. Or even Dan. I thought it was going to be Dan, but it was revealed that it was Ken. But I thought to myself, yeah, of course. Why not? Ken literally was a nice addition to Smash Brothers because honestly, even before, we have not seen a crossover game where Ryu and Ken are in the game since
Capcom versus SNK 2. No wait,
yeah.
that one.
Yep.
Oh my.
Yep.
Okay.
It's been that long. Even in Marvel vs. Capcom, it's Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's been that long.
there was Street Fighter versus Tekken.
Street Fighter versus Tekken. Oh yeah, that one too.
I'm done. Dude, I'm laughing so hard.